to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas. This is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Welcome to the Realty Ruckus out of the White Picket Realty Studios. I am your host, Alan Hernandez. Sitting next to me, your producers, David Bonilla and Gibran Hernandez. We are here to make sure that your real estate business is growing every day, all the time. We can't wait to share a phenomenal show with you guys today. Don't forget that you can drop all your questions, comments, concerns, any kind of trolling that you want to do down below. We love to see all your likes, all your happy faces, and your angry faces. Let us know what we can do to share together on this show. So before we get started on today's show, and before we bring you the best show ever, as always, I want to talk a little bit about a post that I made this morning, as well as what you guys have planned, right? Because I know David's gonna look at me over here and be like, we didn't plan on you talking about anything about that.
Right.
What I want to talk about is all of the deals that have been going through my inbox as like the last 3 or 4 days. Flooded homes, properties that have been underwater by a foot to 4 feet, and now and everybody, and like the numbers on them are like, oh, you can rehab this for 20 grand, and it's dude, in what world in what world do you live in? Because in the world that I live in, I don't think you can even come close to touching that house for 20 grand. Have you seen some of those?
I had one person, because I called one. And I said, hey, how are you going to rehab that whole house for 35 grand? What's your plan? Because they ripped out everything. It got 3 feet of water. So they ripped out the kitchen cabinets. They ripped out the bathroom cabinets. They ripped out everything. All the insulation in the walls. I mean, everything in this house has to be replaced. Yeah. And they're saying 35 grand, including the electrical, mind you, because they got 3 feet of water.
Exactly.
And I go, how did you calculate that? And they go, well, we already did the demo.
The demo's
done.
Yeah,
the demo. That was where the money was at, was in the demo.
Half the work's done. Yeah. What are you guys talking about?
All you got to do is put sheetrock back up. There's a bunch of sheetrock in the garage. We can use some of that. And it's the old pieces that they took out.
Yeah. They kept the old wet sheetrock for you. It's like, oh, thanks, guys.
That's funny.
So nice of you.
So, I made a post this morning about the truth behind what the numbers will be on those. And we've gotten a ton of likes. We've gotten a ton of feedback on it. A lot of people who agree. And then, of course, there's always that one joker who doesn't. And it's like, oh, you're just instilling fear in everyone. The prices are the same. Have prices of materials gone up or not?
Well, look, man, I work directly with the contractors, and I don't only do residential. I'm doing some really big jobs now as well. And what I can tell you is that painting skyrocket right now. Yeah. Sheetrock, good luck finding a good sheetrocker for the same price you used to be able to find one. And good luck finding even a day laborer that can do sheetrock.
Yeah, I was going to say labor is probably the hottest commodity
even
right
the day laborers from Home Depot that can normally, you go out there, you're like, hey, I need a sheetrocker. And of course, there's always one guy that's like, yeah, sheetrock, I can do that. But sheetrock, now you go out there and the only people you can find are people who don't really have any skills at all.
Yeah, they're just there to tear some shit down.
Exactly. The guys that know how to sheetrock, they know how to paint, because, guys, that's a skill. Yeah. And you can't please don't go out and hire just whoever and be like, well, all it takes is them rolling a roller against the wall. No, painting is a skill. If you want it to look good, you need a good, solid painter. Yeah. And, yes, it's gone up drastically. I would say at least 20, 25%.
We're getting ready to see a whole batch of people who have been watching HGTV for the last 10 years decide to get into the investment game because they feel like there's an opportunity coming up, right? And I already see it. Like in the post this morning, I already had even like friends of mine who are like, hey, I was thinking about buying some flooded homes. I thought we could get it done for 20 or 25 grand. It's like, dude, you are getting ready to bury yourself financially. Before you guys go out there and get into some of this, do your research. And of course, there is the exception. There is the exception to the rule. There is that one tiny, 800 square foot house who got 3 inches of water, who just needs a little bit of remediation, and you may be able to get it done for cheap. But the reality is, if you've had a foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, you have to look at the electrical.
And I would say this even more so than anything, because an inch of water can still be completely deadly. It all depends, not deadly, like, it's going to kill you deadly.
Costly.
But costly in the sense that if the water sat there for a really long time, it's already molded. Yeah. It's molded. I mean, there's no doubt about it. If the water sat there for 2 or 3 days, or like these houses, there's one out by Barker Cypress. I got a call on it yesterday. 7 feet of water.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, do you think we can rehab it? I'm like, dude, you got to tear that thing down, man. It's not meant to sit in water for 3 weeks.
It's set in water for 3 weeks, and they're thinking it's going to take 35 grand to fix it up.
Yeah, it's like, no, man, you're basically rebuilding. And I saw somebody post, oh, well, rehab cost is about $25 a square foot. Where the hell do you get that number from? You can't estimate these repairs that way. Every house is different. Yeah. Did the electrical get screwed?
Yeah.
If it did, all of a sudden, that's a whole nother expense.
Well, here's a question that I have for you. You know a whole lot about this, and this is something that I'm probably going to be discussing tomorrow during the event that I'm going to be at.
That's right. You're doing a workshop tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a workshop tomorrow for Harvey Relief, and it's about rebuilding your business and actually taking advantage of some of these opportunities, but doing them the smart way.
Yeah.
When you go and rehab a flooded home, do you have to pull permits?
Yes, you do have to pull permits no matter what on a flooded home.
So here's the next thing. The sheetrock is out. You have 4 feet of exposed framing.
This is where it gets interesting.
Does that mean that you have to bring the house up to current code?
So City of Houston code says that anything that you remove that exposes an area, you have to now bring it up to the current code. And we can talk more about that as soon as we get back from the break, because I know that that's a question a lot of people are asking. I see a lot of people already starting their rehab.
already see you guys.
They haven't even pulled permits.
Yes.
And guess what? If you get red tag, they can make you rip everything out. We got to go to break.
Make sure you let people know about today's show, because we're going to be breaking some myths. We got to take a quick commercial break here on the Realty Ruckus. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is Dave. Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service and an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepickettrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepickettrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, we've had some really beautiful weather out there lately. David, what do we have to look forward to?
Well, guys, not much respite from the heat coming up, although we are already going into October. We can see highs today in the 90s, a low of 76, and that's going to be pretty much the same case throughout the rest of the week and into the weekend. So you can expect a high of 90 each day and a low near 70.
Awesome. So we just took a little break, and what we were talking about before the break.
Yes, and we actually didn't plan this for the show. So if you guys are like, it didn't sound very organized, well, that's because we didn't plan to talk about this.
Sometimes that's what happens on the show like this.
I think it's really, really good information. So we were talking about permits.
Yes, we were talking about the fact that people out there are getting ready to start buying investment houses that have been flooded without taking the proper considerations on what the costs are of renovating a house. And then we said, are you going to need permits?
Yeah.
Because I still think there are contractors out there, the fly-by-night contractors, the ones that decided to just all of a sudden become contractors overnight.
Yeah.
Somebody called them the YouTube contractors because I guess they watch YouTube videos.
No, man. I one time, this is way back in the day. I hired a guy who said he was a framer. So I hired him for a small job. I said, I'm going to give him a shot at it. I showed up to the job site. The guy was framing, and it looked all right.
Yeah.
But then I walked around. I'm looking at this guy, and he's got the Home Depot book that says Framing 101 with him. And I was like, oh, geez, man. I had to fire him. All the framing came out wrong, man. So, yes, it's the 101 contractor. Those guys that you got to look out for.
It's those guys. It's those guys that are going to come around, and they're going to say, here's what they're going to say. They're going to say, I will do this job, and they're going to throw like this super cheap number out, right? And then they're gonna tell you, but I'm gonna need 50% down so that I can buy materials, because materials are expensive right now, right? So they're gonna sell you on that, and then
they're also gonna sell you on the fact that they're gonna do it so cheap, that they're gonna basically roll your deductible into your settlement. Oh man, you won't have no deductible, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're gonna roll it in. We're gonna roll it in, and then they're gonna say, but. Because I'm doing it at this price, I can't get permits.
Yep.
The permits are going to be your responsibility. Right?
Or they won't even do that. They'll just be like, look, if you want me to do it for this price, I can't be going to get no permits.
I love how Baby does that.
He's got the perfect impression.
An accent every time.
I think I've heard him enough every time, man. They all sound the same. Everyone has that accent when they say that.
So true. And that's where you get in a whole lot of trouble. That's when you start... You think you're getting the best deal on earth, and you think you're like, hey, you know what? I really just took this guy for a ride, or I'm amazing at negotiation. Yeah. My negotiation skills are the best.
Totally rocked it, bro.
Nobody negotiates like I do. My negotiation skills are huge. And then you're like, oh, crap, because the guy disappears on you, right? Or he gets maybe to like a third of the way or even less, and then he's like, I'm sorry, man, I can't get it done. It's just not possible. And now you're stuck, and he didn't pull permits. And then what happens if you don't pull permits on a job?
So what happens is the city can red tag you during the job. Now, if you make it all the way through and the city hasn't red tagged you, you probably did okay. But the thing is, you have to remember, city has all of their inspectors out right now red tagging like crazy.
Yeah.
Because the one biggest thing they're worried about is, are you rebuilding a house that's in the 100-year floodplain that needs to be permitted correctly? Because now you can only do 50% of the value of the property, not of the land. I'm talking about just the building itself.
Building. Correct.
And there's houses out there where HCAT has valued the building at zero now.
Yep.
So if it's valued at zero, even if it's valued at 20,000, you can only do 10 grand in remodeling.
Yep.
So now you're in a situation where you're going to have to either lift the house up out of the floodplain, or you're going to have to tear it down and build brand new.
That's right. You may not have an option.
Yeah, and you could get in 90% through of your rehab. You've already spent $50,000. You're 90% through with your rehab, and guess what? The city can come in, red tag you, and make you stop completely. And if you don't do that, they can start issuing a daily citation, which, guess what? That's $150 a day, the citation, if you continue to work during a red tag.
Yeah. So there goes that phenomenal investment that you took on, where you thought you were going to get rich overnight, and HGTV your way to freedom, right?
And here's the worst part. Let's say you say, F it, whatever. I'm not going to pay the citations. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to live there. Yeah. The city has the right to remove your occupancy from the home. So they can deem the home unsafe because you've got no permits on it. They can actually throw your ass out of the house and say you can't live there anymore.
Well, and let's talk about the fact that if you cut corners, if you decide, you know what, I'm gonna somehow get through this, I'm gonna push through, maybe ignore all of this amazing advice that you're being given here at the Realty Ruckus, right? And you decide to cut a few corners, and maybe you don't take all of the cabinets out. Maybe you just take out a portion of them just because you don't think that's really necessary.
Yeah.
What happens in the scenario that you sell that property down the road? I don't know how, but just say miraculously you get to the point where you sell it.
Yeah.
Right? And the buyers eventually maybe get sick and find mold.
Oh, I mean, you're completely responsible. They're going to chase you down. And this is one of those situations where it doesn't matter if you're in an LLC, you're in a trust or whatever. A good lawyer is going to find every avenue to chase you down and get money out of you for doing that.
Yeah.
So you got to be really careful. It's all about disclosure. It's all about doing things the right way. Guys, a general repair permit on a flooded house is only about $300.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a really inexpensive permit on a normal house. Now, if your house has other issues that, like it's in a floodplain, you may have to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
But on a general repair permit for a regular flooded house, you're only going to spend about $300 for the permit. Yes, your electrician has to get a permit. They have to get it anyways. Your plumber has to get a permit. He has to get it anyways. Your HVAC technician has to get a permit. He had to get it anyways. No one, the only extra permit is you as the main general contractor saying, I'm going to make sure all of this work is done up to code. And yes, if you remove sheetrock, like you said, on an exterior wall, and there was no insulation before, you don't get to not put insulation back. You do have to put insulation now because you have to bring everything up to code, including your electrical and your plumbing. If your plumbing behind the walls is shot and it's just like completely bad, they're going to expect you to bring all of that up to code. And you know the inspector doesn't care if you're like, but man, my insurance company didn't give me a payout to update the plumbing. That's not what the inspector is there for. The inspector is there to make sure you have the safest living conditions possible.
And city code will require you to do that.
Yeah, it will. So, they will go through there and they'll call you out on like, you're going to have to put a ventilation fan in bathrooms. They're going to ask for that. You're going to have to make sure that all of your AC ducts are up to the new energy codes. If you remove a window, guess what? You're going to have to put in a window that's up to the new energy requirements. So you have to be really, don't start just remodeling everything like crazy just because it flooded, because you're going to have to meet all the new codes on everything. And guess what? Don't even try to be like, well, I bought it at Home Depot. I thought everything at Home Depot was up to code. No, Home Depot sells a lot of stuff that doesn't meet the city's code. So don't think just because they sell it, it meets the code. They sell Flex Seal, but it doesn't mean you want to do a whole roof out of Flex Seal, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, the reason why we're pointing this stuff out is because before you guys go out there and jump into one of these potential money pitfalls, think about it and consult with someone that
always,
really
do your due diligence.
Do your due diligence. Absolutely. We have to take a quick commercial break. When we get back,
we're talking about tacos and cocaine.
And who doesn't like to talk about that?
Man, the two best topics in the world.
You're on the Realty Ruckus. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, we want to go ahead and jump into a topic that is about tacos and cocaine. And which I don't know which one you want to jump into first, either tacos or cocaine.
I think it's more so eccentric realtors.
Okay, eccentric realtors. I wanted to talk about the tacos and cocaine, but if you guys want to talk about eccentric realtors, I guess we can.
Let's talk about the cocaine aspect first, because I think this is a really funny story. This is something that happened out, I believe, in California. No. Where did it happen, David? You know all the details on this thing.
So this actually happened in Kentucky.
I said California. Way off.
Man, don't throw off. Don't make those California.
It just seems kind of like a California thing to do.
Anything that has cocaine in it is either California or Texas.
Like
is that what it is?
So what happened? So this is a broker who is actually seems to be pretty successful.
So this guy is a very successful broker. I can say it because it's all over Inman News.
Yeah.
He's a Remax broker. And he's been doing real estate in Kentucky since 1993. He's been a broker now for over 11 years. And he started a real estate company called Pullman Realty. And then he went over and he bought a Remax franchise. Now, 24 years he's been in the career total, right? 24 years since 93. They found this guy. They went into his house, apparently. And what they found, the FBI was looking out after him because they suspected him, I guess, for dealing the cocaine. And they went into his house and they found 9.5 grams of cocaine right next to some packaging material, a scale, and a .45 caliber gun, which automatically went over to the authorities.
Like all together in like a little batch or like a little box or something?
Yeah, it was almost like we'll have left a little welcome tent there.
Yeah. A picture of himself with a thumbprint on it.
Hi, FBI.
Here's my fingerprint.
Thank you for visiting.
It says evidence on the box.
A picture of himself snorting it.
It's just, how careless can you get?
Maybe a list of contacts who bought it from him or something.
This black book. That just goes out to everybody who says, well, I'm in real estate. I don't have a boss. I can't get drug tested. I can't get in trouble. I can do whatever I want.
Now, for the record,
not always.
This happened in 2014. So this was,
it's a little bit older.
3 years ago, but now he's facing
he's sentenced.
Yeah, he
sentenced.
just got sentenced recently. And now he's facing the repercussions. So he got 1 year and a day in the federal prison for trafficking cocaine.
Federal prison?
Yeah, federal prison. But the federal prisons are supposed to be like the luxury ones, I'm pretty sure. It's better than a state-run facility.
That's not what I've heard.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any such thing as a federal prison, but the federal prison is supposed to be nicer than a state-run prison. Yeah.
So,
I'm not trying to condone anyone go to prison because it's nice. I'm just saying. That's what I heard from somebody who went to prison, okay?
I don't know anyone who's been to prison, but I can't imagine federal prison is any kind of luxury.
No.
And in the comments below, it's hilarious. It says, interesting choice of a closing gift, ?
Yeah, right. Here's your closing gift. I included 2 baggies, one for you and one for your wife.
Yeah. Welcome home. I love it. So let's talk about the taco thing. What's going on with that?
So this is actually pretty funny. So on the other side of it, there is a broker now. You know how it says BTSA?
Yeah.
You can go on the listing.
I've seen this.
You can add a BTSA.
Yeah.
This guy's doing a $500 BTSA, but he's doing it in 100% tacos. So he's going to buy you $500 worth of tacos when you buy a house that he's got listed on the market.
We should have totally played Is It Racist with this thing, man. I mean, how bad can this realistically get?
Nah, man. Tacos are delicious.
You want to play Is It Racist, but here's the reality. White people love tacos.
Yeah.
I mean, they just do.
I wish I could show you an image of this guy. I mean,
it looks like he ate about $500 worth of tacos too.
You might eat the tacos before they get to you.
You may not get them.
His direct quote was, "Who doesn't love free tacos?"
But here's the question: is it a good marketing strategy or not?
Well, he knows it. He says yes. It's absolutely just about exposure. He says we've got an incredible reaction and we've gotten showings.
Yeah.
So this guy, is it really about giving away the tacos? Will somebody really be enticed enough by the tacos to purchase a home? No.
I think it's pretty funny. I think it might offend a few people. I
don't think so.
But it is what it is, and it kind of depends where he listed the property.
I don't know about offending anyone. I mean, if I said I'll buy you $500 worth of lasagna, I don't think Italian people are going to be like, that's racist. Don't give out lasagna.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So it's not racist?
No, I don't think it is.
Well, I'd like to hear what the audience thinks about this.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to hear what the audience has to say.
Because I mean, this could go a million different ways. I mean, you could make it all. You could cater this to all sorts of ethnic backgrounds.
This realtor's. I'm sorry, I just read this realtor's tagline.
Right.
Do you know what his tagline is?
Oh no!
Giant realtor, giant results.
And he really is giant.
No, he's a big guy.
We got to
man.
post a picture of this guy.
He's a big boy, yeah, for sure.
I love it. You know, I think it's I think it's interesting to see how people can really think outside of the box on their marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Right? And like even on the post this morning, I mean the post that I made this morning about the whole 35K and under thing, that can actually be taken from that to a squeeze page to creating an actual marketing strategy to find buyers who are buying flooded homes. So when I had this one guy on there, I don't know if you guys saw him. He went in there and he kind of wanted to engage in a back and forth, and I didn't give him any attention. But I think maybe he missed the point.
Let's go look that up.
I think maybe he missed the point of creating what we call unicorn ads. And unicorn ads being those that get a lot of engagement, those that can therefore be turned into something later that can be created as a lead capture.
So one of the best unicorn ads I've ever seen, and it actually got awards for being so highly used on Google. So divorce attorneys is the #1 most expensive pay-per-click possible.
Yeah.
You pay about $500 for one click if you're a divorce attorney. So we're talking about big money, and depending on where you're at, it's even bigger money. If you're out in LA, if you're down in Miami, the cities with a lot of money, divorce attorneys are really expensive.
Yeah.
So this guy went to one of these agencies and said, I need to find a way that's going to have people click on my ad, but I don't need to rank at the very top because I don't want to spend $500 a click.
Right.
So they created an ad, and instead of saying anything about him being a divorce attorney, the ad said, I bet he's sleeping with her tonight.
Wow.
And
wait, what?
It said, I bet he's sleeping with her tonight. Talking about
that was the title of the ad.
the title for the ad for a woman who's like suspecting that her husband is sleeping around. It said, I bet he's sleeping with her tonight. Click here to find out more information. And you would click that, and then it would send you to his page.
Yeah.
And it was a divorce attorney who was talking about when there's infidelity, how you should record it, the things that you need to do, giving good information, and saying, if you need a divorce attorney, here I am.
Yeah.
And that got incredible results. He wasn't even making the top 3, yet he was getting a ton of clicks for like 10% of what the top #1 click was.
That's awesome.
So it's all about your ads. You can either spend a lot more money to be at the top, or you can get extremely creative, not be necessarily at the top, but still be getting a lot of clicks from the unicorn ad.
Absolutely.
And I think I see the comment you were talking about.
Okay, what did he say?
It says good points. This is Dean Jensen, by the way. I mean, he's publicly out there.
What's up, Dean?
He says good points and also scare tactics. You're employing scare tactics.
That's exactly what it was.
He says if you materials have gone up considerably, then I suggest you contact the state attorney general regarding price gouging. Last time I checked,
first off, let me just take a whole bunch of my time to contact the state attorney.
He says Home
complain.
Depot, not Home Depot. Home Depot was still selling materials like sheetrock and other kitchen cabinets at pre-Garvey, not Harvey, pre-Garvey prices.
Yes.
Permits are still permits. Labor has gone up, but not more than 15 to 20%, that's quite a bit going up. And so I'm not really sure where everyone is getting their 50 to 60 price per square foot to rehab. You can build totally new for $100. Not high end, of course, but let's face it, few houses need that.
That's true. You cannot build new for $100 on a very, very high end home, but you can do a cheaper home for $100 a square foot. But look, you're practically rebuilding. Yes, $50 to $60 a square foot. You're practically rebuilding.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do agree. I don't agree with him. I think, let me call the attorney general because they're charging more for sheetrock. Yeah, there's a shortage of it.
Yeah.
It's not price gouging. It's called
demand.
Price, it even slipped my mind. It's called supply and demand, damn it. We don't live in a communist economy.
Yeah.
We live in a free market economy. And when there's a shortage of something, they have the right to charge a little bit more for it.
There's just not enough of it right now.
They're having to bring it from places where they didn't used to have to bring it from. So their shipping costs are higher.
Yeah.
You can't say that they're gouging when they're paying more for it too.
Yeah.
It's just, and not only that, but you can't say contractors are gouging. I have one person offering me $3,000 for a job, and then I got the exact same job, and you're offering me $2,000. I'm gonna go take the job from the person offering me $3,000.
Absolutely.
Why? It's the exact same work for me,
Yeah.
and I'm getting paid more.
Yeah.
So that's not price gouging. The prices are definitely going up,
Yeah.
and it's not anything to report. It's called a free market economy.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, go live in like Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
No, and I think the price gouging thing that only is in times of like during actual Harvey and for certain like items, necessary for survival. I don't think it's labor. You can't,
You can't call your representative and complain about someone who is going to make more money for a service that they are needed for.
Yeah.
So, like for example, contractors, yes, 15 to 20%. That's probably a small markup on what the labor has gone up right now.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, there's so much work here in Houston that there's not enough contractors to actually keep up with all of it. That's why we have all of these YouTube contractors popping up out of nowhere from all over the place, from different states, even driving over here trying to get a piece of the pie.
And the thing is, there's still not enough good ones. Even and at the prices that people are willing to pay, there's still not enough good ones. And second of all, we're talking about prices going up with the lower end contractors. The higher end contractors are charging what they've always charged, which is a ridiculous price. You'd have to be able to prove that that low end contractor marked his prices up so much higher than even the top end guy had him to be able to claim price gouging. It's just that's never going to fly.
Well, and okay, so the whole point of the reason why I was bringing it up is because what he really ultimately missed wasn't the fact that I made the post because I felt like the community just needed to be educated on this. Yes, that is a portion of bringing value to the community. But there is another reason why, and that is because we see what's getting ready to happen here in the industry. There is a whole lot of people getting ready to sell their houses. Why? Because they don't have the ability to renovate.
I actually have a bold prediction.
They're running out of options.
I would love to hear the bold prediction.
I think we're going to have a lot of people walk away from their mortgages.
Yep. We're going to have a mass exodus. We're going to see a big group of people who are... But here's the thing: they can't afford to renovate it. They don't qualify for any of the loans. Or maybe they're facing issues with the city. Maybe the city says you have to raise this property
or tear it down.
And they're like, well, what the heck am I going to do? You know what? It's just going to be easier to just toss it up in the air and let the bank take it back. The bank can deal with it.
I'm telling you, wait for it. Come November, December, we're going to start to see a little bit of a foreclosure crisis, and then come about March of next year, we're going to see a lot of foreclosures. Because all of these people that have only owned their house for 5 to 7 years or less, you're talking about they've only paid off maybe a couple $1,000s in principal. So they haven't hardly paid off anything. If they took 20, 30, 40,000, 60,000, 70, 80, and 100,000 in damage,
they're way upside down.
They're upside down. They don't just have that money sitting there for a rainy day. Most people's rainy day fund is like $1,500. It's not 40,000, 50,000.
Most people don't have a rainy day fund. What are you talking about?
I'm making the assumption that Americans are responsible. Damn it! All right, David.
No.
So if Americans are responsible and they have a rainy day fund, it's not 40, 50,000. We're talking about a much smaller amount. Let's say that they even have 20 grand. Who pays the other 40, 50? You know, that they're still going to be there in a situation where if I take a loan, now I got to pay an extra $400 or $500 a month. I can't afford that anymore. My best option might be to walk away from the mortgage. And I do expect to see mortgage companies working with people to do a ton of short sales.
David Thayer commented that. David, thank you for watching. Great name, by the way. He says a lot of short sales are coming. So, and Rudy says, here comes the wave.
And these are lenders, right? I don't know what David Thayer
Well, I'm not sure about David.
I know that Rudy Sarate is a lender.
Yes.
And so, I mean, these guys know it better than anyone when they can see that there's
Looks
a problem
like
on the horizon.
David is an investor.
Awesome. So, there's absolutely going to be a wave coming. And why not be prepared for the wave, right? So if you're drumming up enough leads or people that are going to potentially be selling their house, what do you need on the other end?
Well, we're going to have to get to that on the other end of this break.
All right. Well, we have to take a quick commercial break. You guys are on the Realty Ruckus. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, before we went off the air, we were talking about contractors and a lot of other things regarding Harvey, and so we just want to keep that conversation going.
Yeah, so David Fair, he commented again, appreciate all the comments, David. We love when the audience interacts. He said on the backside of that wave, I guess, it's going to be a lot of owner finance buyers. That makes sense.
Yeah, I see that too.
So there's going to be...
Well, yeah, if they're walking away from mortgages, they're not going to be able to go and get...
Well, and I see that one of the biggest, most popular fads right now in real estate, and I call it a fad because there's just these things that pop up all of a sudden. Owner finance was a fad for a while, and right now it's buying notes. Everyone is like, I'm a note buyer now, right? Everyone's a note buyer.
Sure.
There is going to be a lot of distressed notes that are going to be sold by a lot of small banks. Right now is a time that if you have a friend that is a banker or president of one of those small branches, you should start reaching out to them and saying, hey, when this wave starts to come, let's have a conversation.
There might be some opportunities
there. Oh yeah, for sure.
Now look, right now, if you do it within time, you still have the opportunity to go out and buy another house. There are loan programs out there, and some of those loan programs we're going to be discussing at tomorrow's event with the Maya team, where a buyer can go out, buy a house with zero money down. They still have to bring some closing costs, but literally zero money down.
Are these people affected by Harvey? Or?
The people that are affected by Harvey. So there are specific loan programs that are going to help them. Now, what will happen with the people that don't qualify is, you're right, David, they're going to say, well, I don't qualify, or maybe I lost my house to foreclosures to that and the other, but I still have a little bit of money saved up. Here, let me go out and try to buy something with owner financing in place.
I mean, hopefully it's going to be some people that ran off and kept that FEMA money or whatever, insurance money or whatever it might be.
Well, and then what I was going to get to a while ago is there's also that huge pool of people who are looking at this as a potential opportunity to buy some property at a discount where they have been able to achieve that discount in previous years. So that's going to mean that if you have people selling, you may want to start setting yourself up with connecting yourself with people who are buying. And by doing both, you're able to piece both of them together, therefore capitalize and make lemonade out of lemons,
And this thing just popped into my head since we're kind of being random on the show today. You know how we talked about last show or 2 shows ago what the discount was actually going to be on flooded homes and for how many times they flooded. Well, talking to people in the industry, speaking to people around town, it looks like we were pretty much spot on. So what I'm hearing from hard money lenders is for Harvey flooded homes, they're taking just the regular analysis and discount 10%.
Yeah,
so that's what they're doing.
From what I understand, and we've actually seen some across our desk here in the last few weeks, where instead of 70% loan to value, most hard money lenders are going to be looking at about a 60% loan to value, minus the repairs.
Yeah.
So if you guys are out there and you're thinking about buying something, make sure you maybe use that formula. And the reason why you're going to do that is because there is a chance that when you sell it, and there's a real good chance that when you sell it, your buyer pool is not going to be as large as it was before the flooding.
No.
Therefore, you're going to have to price reduce to incentivize someone to take a risk.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait for that market of non-flooded homes to kind of get to its capacity, and that's when you're going to start seeing those flooded homes.
And that's something we'll do it. We'll get them on a show. Because Ray Sasser was actually here during Hurricane Allison, which was very destructive, and it was huge.
Tropical Storm Allison.
Yeah, Tropical Storm Allison, sorry. But it flooded
flooding,
like crazy here in Houston. I would love to hear what he saw then that we can utilize today? Because I'm sure he's got some pretty good stories.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
too.
And I'm sure he can point out some similarities and maybe some differences this time around. What's a little bit different this time around?
Yeah, I would say the biggest differences is the level of destruction on this one.
Yeah.
It's how many houses out there were destroyed. We're talking about 120,000 potentially flooded homes. Homes that on the heat maps where water rose, there's 120,000 houses in that area that potentially flooded. Now, I just read today something that was like, oh, Harris County agrees to buy out 200 houses. And they were saying, oh my God, this is going to make a really big deal. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That's not
really
even
200?
Yeah.
That's a drop in the bucket right there. You're talking about 120,000 houses that flooded, and they're going to buy out 200?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah, that's less than 1%, way less.
Yeah, it doesn't really help anyone really to go out and do that. All right, but here's the thing. So is there an opportunity for someone who maybe wants to buy a couple of them to keep?
Yeah, I think that there is. I would say this. If you're going to go out and you're going to buy flooded houses to keep, buy them as rental properties for right now.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the flood insurance. Make sure you get all the other necessary insurances, but buy them as rental properties, not as flips.
Yeah.
I'm just not I'm not into flipping the flooded houses yet. I feel like I want to wait and see. And yeah, granted, he who takes the biggest risk reaps the biggest reward.
Yeah.
But he who takes the biggest risk also takes the biggest shits.
Yeah.
And I don't want to fall into that pile like everybody else.
That's a BB-ism, by
That's
the
a
way.
BB.
Let's drop that into his book.
That's how I always risk eating mango habanero rings.
I know,
I always get the same punishment.
So true. So, I mean, and we already see it. I've already gotten a couple people who have said, hey, I want to buy as many rehab or flood properties to flip as I potentially can.
And at the right price, you give them to me at 50% loan to value minus repairs, or 40% loan to value, or hell, give them to me for free and I'll take them. I saw one there, and you laugh, but there was one investor who emailed me and he said, I've got one. Total flood.
Total loss.
Like total loss.
Tear down.
All I want to do is write it off. Yeah, it's a tear down. He's like, I just want to write it off, so I'm going to sell it for $100.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep.
Look at David's eyes went wide. He's like, what? I can't believe it. Yeah. He sold the house. It's worth about $120, $130 for $100.
Yep. Wow.
Just so that he could write the rest of it off on his taxes.
What lucky dog picked that up?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's a dog fight right now for that
big
one.
old dog fight for that
we
one.
weren't the only ones who got that email.
Unfortunately.
We thought we were.
Yeah.
Man.
We're like, all right, cool, let's do it. And they're like, oh, crap, there's other people involved. Well, it happens. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
You know, but all right, so there is an opportunity. There is a silver lining to all of this.
Absolutely.
There are people who are going to really, really do well by taking advantage of some of these opportunities. It's just a matter of doing a little bit of extra due diligence and really not getting caught up by all the hype, not getting caught up by all the stars and stripes that come with it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's easy to look at it and say, wow, I'm going to get a house for so much cheaper than I normally would.
You know where the biggest opportunity is right now? Multifamily.
Yeah.
Multifamily was on a decline. Multifamily was on a fall. Class A was knocking down everyone's rents. There was a big thing going. But now that you have 660,000 people displaced, multifamily is a good opportunity again. That's going to be one of the places. If you can pick up these little
is this another BB Bowl prediction?
120 to 240 unit complexes that can hold people, you're going to do good. You're going to be all right. Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's one of my bold predictions. I'm making that prediction as well.
Add that one to the book, right?
Come the end of the year, I don't even want to look at all these bold predictions.
I know.
I'm like,
We're just going to go through the whole list and mark off the ones you got
we need
right.
somewhere to mark all these. We need like a running list.
Hey, I did okay last year. My bold predictions at the end of last year, they did okay.
You
did all right.
You did all right,
Yeah.
except for most of them. You were right. You were right about like 10% of the time.
No.
No?
Way more than that.
More?
Yeah.
Would you say more or less?
I don't even know what the bold predict. I mean, I know we talked a lot about the rental market. That was pretty spot on. We were spot on with the luxury market and the sub luxury market. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else we had predicted there.
Next time, I'm going to go up there with Dr. Ted Jones and let him know my forecast.
Oh, wow. All right, so are we buying or are we not buying flood properties? What's the consensus?
I think if you're... Oh, go ahead.
Like
Go ahead,
always,
David.
if it's priced right.
Yeah, I agree with David, especially as rental properties. I wouldn't be so scared. If that's your strategy to rent them out, there's going to be plenty of demand for rentals for the next few years. I wouldn't be worried about that at all. You can wait out the storm, wait till the stigma goes away, literally wait out the storm.
Yeah.
What you have to hope for, though, is that we don't
Harvey.
keep getting these hurricanes every year. We had 2015, Memorial Day. 2016, Tax Day. 2017, Harvey. Going back before that, we had 2013, and then we had before that 2011. So, I mean, we're talking about we're getting flooded regularly.
Yeah.
Now, it hasn't been to this level, but with the earth changing, I won't even jump into that whole conversation.
Do we really want to get into it?
Yeah, no. I won't go.
Do we want to talk about global warming on this show?
Why would you use those words?
Stop, guys.
Get off of the show, Al Gore.
Guys, the earth is flat.
Is global warming even real?
You can't warm a flat earth, Alan. Everybody knows that, okay?
So, all right. So you're right.
Really set out that says owner finance is where it's going to be at for him.
Okay.
He's going to be looking into owner.
So he's predicting
you know what?
that.
I will agree with him because if you buy these properties, you do have a good opportunity of owner financing them out because people are willing to overlook more things on an owner finance. So if it's still a beautiful property after it's rehabbed, they'll still want to owner finance it even if it flooded.
Yeah.
I
just because of the situation they're in.
Yeah, they're in a different situation.
Yeah. Well, we have one more wave of this happening, and it's going to be the wave of people who are willing to take a first-time flooded home, as long as it has flood insurance built into the payment, right? They're going to be able to take that. And then if for some reason we flood again here in the next year and a half or so, then I think things will change a little bit after.
Well, I think things will change in general in Houston. If Houston sees another flood like this 4 years in a row, I mean, it's like 3 strikes, you're out. We're going on 4 strikes now. I think another one like this, financially, we won't recover. We're already way in a big deficit here in Houston. We're pretty broke as a city. We even though we have a lot of property taxes, that's why the mayor is trying to get all this money. But I mean, the reality is, I looked up the proposition to raise the property taxes 10%. It's only going to bring in about an extra $220 million. In the grand scheme of things, that does nothing for Houston. We're in like a $2.8 billion deficit for this next coming year. Financially, this happens again, you're going to see big time problems with Houston as a city.
Yeah.
And then what happens? I mean, this is a city with 6 million people.
Well, then everyone decides, hey, you know what? Probably not the best place to park my business. Probably not the best place to live. Maybe it's time to start looking elsewhere. And you might see an actual mass exodus, which I think we'll see a portion of it this round.
Yeah.
But you might see a real serious one on a 4th flood.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Okay, man, let's move on this one. So I want to move on to another topic here. And this one is about a guy who says that he plans to save real estate. Ooh. And he even created a Kickstarter campaign called The Plan to Save Real Estate.
It's literally the plan to save real estate. Alan's going to like this guy.
His name is Greg Haig, and he's already raised over $35,000 in addition to him personally agreeing to contribute $135,000.
Wow.
He wants to raise $1.1 million by building a Zillow, but it's built by realtors for realtors, and it works for us, not us working for them.
Oh, I'm loving this guy already.
You want the donation page, Alan?
Let's contribute to his campaign.
Yeah, and
he may be on the right track to save real estate.
Inman called and interviewed him, and he told him on his interview, he said, look, I'm trying to do a good thing. I'm not trying to take advantage. I'm not trying to make money. So this guy's literally
he's already
out
68
there.
years old. He's not.
Yeah, I mean he's done it. And the petition is called Stop Zillow. So I mean this is literally a complete.
I feel like me and
Zillow.
this guy connect. I feel like we're friends and we don't even know each other yet. What do we have to do to support the guy?
Yeah, well, so he's got a fundraiser on a website called fundraiser.com. It's FUNDRAZR.com. And he's got the petition on there. And he's calling on NAR to go actually after Zillow. He's basically saying, look, the Zillow instant offer program that you're creating is going against the better interest of realtors. You represent realtors. The MLS bodies that allow Zillow Trulia to use our listings represent realtors. Yet they're trying to cut realtors completely out of the equation.
Yep.
You are not looking into our fiduciary duty anymore, yet you are the governing bodies. You force us to be part of your associations by having a license. What are you doing?
Yep.
And that's the thought behind it. What do you think?
You're supposed to be representing us. You're supposed to be looking out for us. You're supposed to have your back. It's kind of like when you're like in a bar fight and your best friend's sitting next to you and like he just watches you get beat up, you know?
Yeah.
And then you're like, dude, what happened? You know, like I thought you were supposed to have my back. That's how it feels. So I totally agree with the guy, and I'm so happy to see someone doing this. I think there needs to be a whole lot more of us backing guys like this up and really pushing the agenda of keeping our industry to ourselves, not giving it up to people like Zillow who are literally forcing us to work against each other and taking our business.
Yeah, I love how he says that, boom, he's got the solution, but it is currently unveiled.
All right, well, I can't wait to see it. We have to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we'll get into the broker tip of the week. Stay tuned. You're on the Realty Ruckus.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember, you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, we've had some really, really good conversations today. If you missed the show, you missed out on a really, really good one. You want to go back,
you can watch it later.
You want to listen. Yeah, the good thing is you can always go on YouTube, you can go on Facebook, watch the replays of the show, and you can always watch replays of all 125 episodes now of Realty Ruckus, going back to our very first one.
I can't believe
where you will hear all of the bold predictions in those old episodes and how many of them I got right.
It is more than 10% apparently, right? So, all right, we talked a little bit about everything today, but mostly what we talked about is making sure that you're doing your due diligence if you're going to decide to go out there and buy a flooded home.
Yes.
Don't get scammed by these crazy contractors who are selling you on getting these properties done for $35K or less, or these wholesalers who are out there selling you on getting them done for that much.
I keep getting emails. House flooded, worth $150. Selling for $90, needs $60K. I'm like, wait, that's $150.
Yeah, you're like,
what's the discount here?
No discount, and you know their rehab numbers are totally off. And I get it. I don't blame them. I think every wholesaler that's gotten started in the industry goes through that process because they just don't know. So it's not like I'm beating into them. I'm just making sure that they understand that we see it. We feel it, and we understand that that it's not true. Hopefully they don't sell it to someone who doesn't know and
well,
really
that's always what happens.
Well, yeah, unfortunately. So we want to change that. All right, so we want to talk a little bit about the broker tip of the day. I said tip of the week a while ago. Let's talk about the broker tip of the day. And one of the things that I really want to discuss with everyone is making sure that you have a follow-up system. But here's the thing. When I say follow-up systems at the office, everybody thinks, well, how do I automate that? How do I make sure that it gets done completely automatic? Because everyone hates to follow up. I don't know why. It just feels that way, right?
Yeah.
Like you talk to someone and you're like, hey, have you followed up? And they're like,
following up.
But there's a real simple rule to it that if you put it into your system, you never really have to worry about it again. And it works like this. All you have to do is create one follow-up where you're going to call that person, text or email.
Yeah.
And every time you actually remind yourself or you get that reminder, it should be through your system, through your CRM system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time you get that reminder, before you get done hanging up the phone or before you click send, you've already set one more reminder to do it again.
Yeah.
It's real simple. You don't have to worry about setting up these complex, crazy systems, these 10,000 point touches and this, that, and the other. No, you know when you need to follow up with that person. It could be a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, bi-monthly basis. You know because you're keeping in contact with them, right? And again, before you get done, make sure you put that next follow-up on the calendar, click send, hang up the phone call, and you don't have to worry about that lead till next time you're contacting them again.
Makes your database styles real easily. I know we've talked before in the tips of the day is we talked about the 5x5 plan, which is 5 database dials, and you talk to each person for 5 minutes. At the end of each of those 5 minutes, you take your quick notes, you set a reminder, and 2 or 3 weeks down the line, you got your next 5x5 list. You know, you just got to start up your computer, bring up your CRM, and make the calls.
It's funny you guys mentioned that because when we were in Atlanta, and you weren't there yet, this was day one of the training I was at, but the broker who was teaching the class went up there, and the very first thing everybody was asking, how do I automate all this stuff? And you know what he told them? Stop worrying about automating it. Start worrying about doing it.
Yeah.
Because he was like, how many of you are actually setting reminders to call your clients? Oh, no, I don't know. And he's like, yeah, exactly. He goes, you're so worried about having all this stuff happen automatically that it's just not happening.
Yeah.
And then you wonder, why does my real estate business suck? Well, there's your answer. You're just not following up with anyone.
Yep. So anyway, that's the tip of the day. Let's talk about events that we have coming up because we have some amazing ones here in the next few days.
So tonight we actually have Capital Concepts. They're doing their networking mixer over at Chapman and Kirby, and that's from 5:30 to 8:30. A great mixer, and they actually weren't able to do last month due to Harvey, so this is going to be the first one since Harvey.
So what you're saying is going to be a party.
Yeah, it's going to be a party. People are going to be out there having a great time.
It's usually a really good event, too. We really like going to that one.
And then tomorrow on the 27th, you had mentioned you're going to be doing the panel with the Mayas of the Northeast.
So tomorrow, that's going to be over in Los Cucos in Kingwood.
Awesome.
It's a great little space. They rented out one of the private rooms. They already have 25 reserved seats. I don't know if there's a whole lot more space. So if you guys are interested in learning about how to make your business grow during these times after Harvey, make sure you RSVP now. Now, the Maya team is going to be discussing all of the loan products that are available for your clients, right?
Okay.
For the people that call you and say, hey, I have a flooded house. What do I have? What's available for me? The Maya team will bring all those resources.
Great.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to be discussing the do's and don'ts of finding funding, flipping, or selling your next flooded property. That's for you realtors out there who are thinking this is a good time to get into the business. It is, but you have to know what you're doing. Don't go out there and bury yourself in these houses. Go out there and thrive. So we're going to give you guys all that information. Make sure you guys come out.
And what time is that again?
That starts at 11.
Okay.
So it's going to be from 11 to 1:30. Make sure you guys come out. It's going to be a really, really good time.
Beautiful. And then this Saturday, Quest IRA is having their boot camp over at their offices from 4 p.m. And I think that goes all the way to 8 p.m. I'm sorry, it's at the Norris Conference Center. Basically, it's a boot camp to discuss all of their products and what you can do with them. So if you have no idea about self-directed retirement accounts, including IRAs, but that's also retirement accounts, education accounts for your kids, and the other various types of
Look, if you want to shelter your money like the super rich do and stop complaining, I paid so much in taxes. This is your opportunity to go out and learn how.
This is it. Yeah,
everyone can shelter money. I don't care if you make $35,000 a year, you can shelter that money somehow.
And pay less taxes.
Yeah. So get out there and get the education. Is there a cost to that?
I believe there is a cost. I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's something like $35.
Oh, come on, guys. $35. If you can't save $35 next year,
and usually they provide drinks and stuff too. So,
there's
it's
food
a great
provided.
company to network with and really learn from. And yes, if you've ever complained about paying too many taxes, we don't want to hear it anymore because this is exactly what you need to go out there and learn from. So all you need to do is go to these events.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other good ones that we have coming up?
Yes, a very good one. October 10th, our happy hour, White Picket and Jet Lending happy hour. It's going to be the last one of the years, guys. And we expect 300 plus people there. We had 300 people last time. Each time it's gotten bigger. The weather's going to be a little bit cooler. The beer is going to be just as cold and crisp, though. The food is still going to be free and delicious. And the networking is going to be the best of the year.
No doubt about it.
And I'm thinking about maybe instead of doing the normal, because we like to do Mediterranean food for that. I've had a consideration of maybe doing one of those taco guys who comes out with like a little round thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll taco it up.
What's that called? The comal, right?
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it.
We'll taco about it.
You stole that from my show planning.
I did.
Awesome. Is that all the events?
That's it. That's all the events coming
cool.
up, guys. Make sure to keep up to date with our Houston Real Estate Events page. You can search them or search our page at Houston Real Estate Events to keep up with all the events here and around Houston regarding real estate.
That's it for our show for today. Thank you guys for joining us. Keep up your ruckus, and we'll see you next time.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.